with advanced metrics and all the other ways over the last 20 years and now they're not advanced metrics anymore. Now they're just kind of standard operating procedure. The way you assess players, utilizing more numbers and having more information is a better way to judge, especially when you get out from under sort of the dumb luck part of baseball, right? Sometimes, like, I remember when we started looking at batting average of balls put in play, kind of really revealed to you in a given year that if you married that stat with, say, barrel rate or MPH off the bat, like, so how hard hit baseballs, right? And you would see some guys who are just getting screwed in a given year. I mean, they're barreling it up, twice as many times as somebody else, and their batted average is 40 points lower. You're like, okay, so you're squaring things up, and they're going right to people. You just can't catch a break. Other guys, beyond reason, just finding green grass on balls that aren't hit hard. And so we've gotten so much better with the information of assessing the players. But what that's done is allow you to insightfully look at ABs and value them accordingly. Like, all right, do you move runners over?
Right. Not all outs are equal. And we knew that before, but we know even more now.
Discerning, you can really look at a lot of elements of an at-bat and decide whether or not it was a good at-bat. You can have a great at-bat with a poor result. And you can have a terrible at-bat with a great result.
Right. A strikeout after 13 pitches, is especially leading off an inning, is a great at-bat.
Yeah, it's a great AB. You'd come into the dugout and you get dapped for that, rightfully so. Strikeout on 3 pitchers with a runner at second and nobody out. My man, we're going to need to move the runner over here. We're going to need to put the ball in play. We're going to need you to take the bat off your shoulder. So there's just different things that, like, you can make that out. Fly out to right center. He runs over to third. That's a really, really good at bat. I mean, we'll take that, right? But Florida State, this team in particular, has a lot of empty at bats. A lot of ABs that you're like, that was not the approach that I would have taken here. Like, I'm not even playing results. The approach, you were trying to pull that ball. We need you to hit the ball the other way here. You tried to pull a pitch 2 inches away. Not only is the result bad because you swung and missed, but what were you trying to do? Where was your head at? And so this team does that a lot. They do a lot of things that the out is the out, but it's not the out. It reveals the mindset and the approach to be off. And I don't know, you're all hunting. Everybody's hunting a fastball. If you get one on a 1-0 count, I'm going to need you to put the bat on the ball.
If Cooper Kupp defeats double coverage on a 40-yard shot down the field, that'll happen. Even though he's not 6'5", that'll happen every once in a while. If you send the house in a tie football game inside of 2 minutes and he's wide open
and he beats a linebacker
or a safety or whatever.
Yeah. You're like, well, that's fundamentally a flawed approach to this.
That's where the offensive coordinator tips the cap to the defensive coordinator and says, thank you.
Yeah. Did you just do that?
Are you on the take?
Well, we had that with the draw or the screen on the Fuller blitz. And I remember you going, well, we're not going to be able to trust anymore.
Was that like 4th and 16 or 3rd and 16?
3rd and 16. 3rd and 12. It was a tough.
I had forgotten about it.
Yeah. Oh, no, I hadn't. That one still pisses me off. But he had a great second half to the season, so we're going to let it go. Yeah. You're not going to get them all right. I'm just saying that was a curious decision.
Right.
It was sort of that classic
draws and screens, man.
Yeah, well, that's what I run on 3rd and long, right? But here's the deal. I remember thinking, so he doesn't think that I'll blitz because he knows that I know that it's likely a screen. But what if I do? Like, that's where you're like, no, man, don't try to outthink the room.
No,
don't do that.
Play back, draws and screens, and if they try and throw a Hail Mary, well, you've got it defended.
Yeah,
you've got it defended.
Yeah. So. That is
now the problem is if you have somebody supernatural like a Dalvin Cook. Remember the Michigan game? 3rd and forever?
He makes that guy miss. Also, that was a terrible angle.
It was. You need help.
Terrible angle.
But then he can also help himself in a way that most couldn't.
You can't pinch there. What are you doing? He's going to pounce.
And Dalvin Cook was not on the field in this particular instance with Fuller. Yeah.
No. Big difference there. So Florida State does fall. And, I got to tell you, that's not surprising the disappointment I have is that I have yet to find, and I've watched intently, I cannot get a good NBA playoff basketball game under my belt.
There's been like 3 the whole playoffs.
They're all ass beatings. And I think that some of the series themselves, in terms of length or potential for upsets, and there have already, obviously, when Phoenix got bounced, that was a big upset. But going through all this, that some of the results have been interesting, but the games, the NBA has to be so mad at itself. It's not anything fundamentally flawed with the league. It's just the way that the ball's bounced.
Yeah, because you could argue parity is much higher than it was 5-6 years ago.
Without question.
Yeah.
Without question. And Boston's going to win this series against Miami. That series is over. Boston is the much better team.
You see the money line tonight? It's crazy.
Well, Boston's favored by what, 8?
No, but the money line is Boston minus 425.
The series is over, though. And
Holy hell.
If you watch that game, if you watch this series, you don't even know how Miami has won a couple of games. So it's like that. They're very different teams there. And it has to do with your second and third options and injuries.
It also has to do with Boston's health, or else the series would be over.
Yeah. So I do think we're going to get a great finals because I think Boston's equipped defensively to slow Golden State way down. And I think that could be a fun series. I also think that from a brand standpoint, this is really kind of cool. Like Boston being an all-time great franchise. It's them and the Lakers are the 2 greatest franchises in the history of the NBA. It's really not close.
The Lakers are interesting, though, because they're one of the great franchises in all of sports, period. But then they're also one of the most embarrassing franchises because when they go down, they're not mediocre. Like, they are a laughing stock of the league bad.
Yeah, when it goes south, it goes south.
I mean, it really, really does. It's not hyped up by tabloids. Like, it is legitimate news story worthy. Like, holy crap.
Yeah, you're like, well, they suck. They're not good. They suck.
There's infighting to the nth degree.
And this is very specific this year, obviously, to some of the decisions they made there. You talk about taking the chances they did. It's strange.
But you think about the Magic Johnson saga a few years ago, the Phil Jackson Genie bust thing. I mean, what a disaster.
Yeah. No. I know. Well, you're right about the parity being what it is, because what I would tell you is that Phoenix, you can't win 64 games and not be highly thought of and believed to be a powerhouse. I mean, it's not 70 games, but it's 64 wins. And to get bounced unceremoniously the way that they did, that is a shocking development. And of course, this was obviously weeks ago. But what I'm saying is, to your point about parity, that's interesting, right? That's fascinating. Like, all of a sudden we had a right turn kind of moment. I do think we're going to get the series we want. Like, Boston Golden State is a great series.
So there's going to be like 9 or 10 compelling playoff games, the entirety of the NBA slate, which is the opposite of the hockey. It's been great, largely speaking.
Yeah.
And 6 of them are going to be in the finals. 6 of them are going to be probably in the NBA finals.
And we just haven't had.
Because Memphis gave us a few things, but they've been gone for a month. They gave us a couple good games, entertaining finishes.
Memphis is a fun team, man. They're a team that, like, if you don't have a team, you're kind of just, who do I pull? I'll watch me some Memphis now because they're fun as hell to watch. And not only that, they got a lot of what for to them. It's beyond jaw. I mean, like, they play hard, they play smart, they play together. They have complementary pieces. They find ways to win when Jaw's out without a problem. I mean, they're tough, and they're young, so that's only going to get better. It's only going to get better.
What's difficult is, the East. You could say maybe Boston and Miami a few years back, like the beginning of Miami's Big Three. But the East really hasn't been more interesting than the West, top to bottom, in maybe 25 years. The West seemingly always has more character to it, more characters, plural, in teams. The East is, there's one powerhouse and maybe a second fiddle. But when I was growing up in the 90s, I mean, the Bulls were the Bulls. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
the Bulls were the Bulls. But the Knicks had a personality to them. The Heat did. The Hornets did before Zoe left. The Pacers did. The Magic did. I mean, you really had all kinds of options every year in the Eastern playoff picture. I feel like the East is always they're on tonight.
Cyclical, though, because I think that Toronto story was an amazing story. I mean, that story out of nowhere, for them to win the way that they did, to ante up and put the pieces in the middle. and decide we're going to do this. We're going to go ahead and make a run at it.
No, that's fair.
That was a fun.
The East produces some fun teams, but
and Milwaukee last year was a really fun.
But I'm saying the Western Conference playoffs for 20 plus years has been more compelling than the Eastern Conference playoffs.
By and large, it has. Yeah, it has. I think that's accurate. Even this year, like when you get down to some of the teams that can't win it, like Utah is still kind of interesting, and Dallas is an interesting team. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
But I'll grant you, Toronto-Philly was an awesome series, and it ends on the most amazing way.
Yeah, it was a great series. And Milwaukee making the run that they did to win a championship was awesome. And Giannis is as fun a player as there is in the league. And so that changed things. And Boston now resurrecting again, the ghosts, the echoes, all that stuff. And they defend, and they've got a lot of guys that
do defend.
They defend in waves too. And they have a superstar. They also have some really unlikable guys. So it's all there.
But then they have Al Horford, who just keeps on going.
And who, by the way, has probably won us all over despite being a Gator.
He was likable when he was a Gator. Like, you look at that team.
Go easy.
That team was annoying as hell, but you're like, Horford's all right. Like, in the moment, you're saying, he's okay.
He's a great player.
Noah, of course, no. Mr. White Boy Buckets from the logo. Didn't like him.
No, I didn't like
Brewer.
That team. No. Yeah, Horford was the most likable of the bunch.
He's just a tough player.
He's really tough, and I think that it is, as I am getting older, to see anybody who is considered old by the standard of the league they play in or the sport they play in, play that hard every night and play that good on defense. It's crazy to be 35. It's not the offense. Like the offense, whatever. I mean, a lot of offensive guys carry that skill late into their career. So if you're a shooter, you can shoot. If you can get to your spot on the floor and you're comfortable, you can make a lot of shots. Defensively is where you see guys just fall to pieces because, and I say this all the time when I'm watching our Noles to bring it back home, when you're a great defensive team, you are eminently likable because it means you care deeply. Because to play great defense, not only do you have to play off of each other, you have to be able to switch, you have to have guys who can play versatile roles, but you have to want to play great defense because, damn it, man, there isn't a lot of glory that comes with it, and you have to move your feet a lot, and you have to be willing to take shots. I mean, to take body blow after body blow to play great defense. If you're going to slide and share, then you're going to wear shots.
Well, to use an analogy you haven't used in a long time, it's almost like the long-distance runner's mindset. Like you've always said that you look at a signpost, you're like, I can't get to the next one. I just got to get to this one.
I got to get to that one.
A good defensive team doesn't see the post. They just keep running. You know what I mean? They don't think about, I need just to get to this tree limb. And if I get to the tree limb, then I'll worry about it next. They don't even see the tree limb. This is what we do. I'm blowing right past all this stuff. You tell me when to stop.
I think I think defensive-minded teams are fun to root for in an era where offense is the video highlight, and that's true of any sport. Like home runs take precedent over web gyms, right? That's why you saw that they tend to do
for the masses.
That's what I'm saying for the masses.
Yeah, I love a good web gym.
I do too. This is my point. Like I'm more inclined to celebrate and get excited about great defense than I am great offense, and great offense is what is celebrated. That's true in football. We see it all the time. So, in professional football in particular, it's all about a quarterback that can throw for 5,000 yards, 40 touchdowns, and complete 68% of his passes because the rules are set up for these teams to do just that. Even what I would consider by yesteryear's standards, meaning skill set, there are average quarterbacks that throw for 4,600 yards because they can. Because you're not allowed to hit them, and you really can't touch the receivers. So if they have some weapons around them, and they play a good game of check down, and they got a guy like McCaffrey who can make everybody miss when you do check down, well, man, you're going to pile up some yardage, and you're going to look better than you are. So I really love it when I find in a game of offense a defense that can lead the way. I think this team that we're about to have at Florida State is going to be led by the defense, clearly. And I think there's a lot of consternation that is born from that because in the game – that we now know is so reliant on offense, we feel like we're deficient. But we used to be deficient in both. And the second half of last season kind of taught us that we can be pretty good on defense, and we may be even better this year. I know we don't have an elite pass rusher. I know we don't have a guy that changes the game. The teams have to double team and all of that like we did a year ago. I mean, and we couldn't have guessed he was going to be that. But we have more pieces balanced.
You're less afraid about getting beat one-on-one over the top.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think you feel really good at safety. I think you feel decent at corner, good to decent. I think the linebacking core, we just talked about this yesterday, is better. I think the defensive front's pretty good. I don't know if we're going to get a great pass rush. I am worried about that, even a good pass rush. But I do think that the balance of this defense is what game in and game out will give them a chance to be in it and give them a chance to win some of these 50-50 games. And they have a ton of 50-50 games. They have a ton of them.
I feel like in 3rd and long we'll be okay. And I know that sounds strange, but I feel like you've got guys who can pin their ears back and go. I'm worried about those middle downs. And who do we put on the? Yes, yeah. Who do we like? If McClendon and Verse are on 3rd and 12 and on 3rd and 12, I feel good that we're going to get pressure.
Yeah.
But if it's 3rd and 6, like, do you want to put both of those guys out there, or would you rather put Warner out there because you know that on one half of the field you're going to play it responsibly, and the other half of the field you might be a run and gun type? I saw Verse play with good leverage in the beginning of spring, but I feel like both he and McClendon really are trying to sack the quarterback first, second, and third options. And Warner is probably not capable of doing that. But what do you want to have in 3rd and 6? Do you want to have security, or do you want to have an attacking mindset? So that's where I think that's going to be fun.
I found out, I'm going to share a couple of these. We did a college sports book, Matthew and I did this morning. It will be up later today. I found, do you realize how fortunate we are right now? I did some research and found out that because I said to myself, now maybe it's because in the last few years I've gotten much more into sports gambling. It's also become more accepted and legal. Well, period.
More couth.
Well, 30 states have legalized. So you can go nuts. You can gamble all you want.
Where the hell are we?
Well, we were there, and then we screwed it up. We screwed it up along the way. Screwed up the end game, Tom.
Yes, that's right. Thank you, Charlie Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
You would think Florida would be at the forefront of debauchery.
Well, they were.
Given our reputation.
They had it.
Only in illegalities. How about a legal way? Thank you. Rest in peace, Louis.
I actually nailed that one. Yeah, very frustrating. But it will get there. It's going to happen. In the interim, luckily, many other states are all good with it, and we know people in those states. And we know guys that get down regardless of the laws.
New Orleans gets down now.
Yeah.
That was a surprise.
So it's exciting. It's all there. Now, what I'll tell you is what that's led to is more in the market options. So there are more books than ever before. You don't have to go to just New Jersey or Las Vegas.
Right. More strange bets.
So what's happened? Everybody's in a rush for week 0, week 1 lines. They're all throwing them out there. And this is where people get sloppy. This is where you have a chance to take advantage of their efforts to get out in front and try to, they're trying to take bets. And, FanDuel and Circa and obviously DraftKings and all these places that you're finding. I'm finding lines for games in October. I'm finding, like, I just got done picking Utah against Southern Cal. And no, it wasn't just a win total.
No, I know. It was 3.5.
Yeah, I was shocked by this, right? So you can find some of these marquee games of the year type bets that are out there because so many people are rushing to market. And I found one that I'll tell you about in a second that involves an ACC team. And in my research to make the bet, I started thinking about the ACC and thinking about where this team is and where we could be compared to them and our lot in life.
So Pitt is only given 6.5 to Duke. I hear you.
I didn't see that. No.
Oh, no. That's a wild guess. And if I nailed it, I would have run around the studio.
Well, that would be a low number. And I would give that 6.5 all day long, but that's not close to it. And also I saw a game with Arkansas that I liked. And you can do the Woo Pig Sue when we get back. That sounds good. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. On a Libations Friday. Let's have some fun.
You were always more than my mom. You were my role model, my best friend, and biggest supporter. You filled my days with unconditional love. And you also prepared for the day when you couldn't be here. Because of the woman you were back then, I'm able to be the woman I am now. Your planning made this moment possible.
Set your family up for life. Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance. Your friends for life.
This is Andy Cohen. When I was a law enforcement officer, I devoted my life to a career of service and protection. Who's protecting you? Give me a call. 850-671-FARM. That's 671-FARM. Helping you is what we do best.
Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi. not licensed to do business in all 50 states.
This is Kyle, Service Manager from Barano Heating and Air. Schedule an appointment from your mobile device to learn about our Total Comfort Service Program. With guaranteed same-day service, 15% off necessary repairs, and $25 berry books to use towards air filters and other products. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air. Any day, anytime, anywhere. Online at baranoac.com.
Florida license CAC 1816-186.
Hi, my name is Shannon Pash, and I'm the principal at Red Hills Academy. We will provide a challenging, rigorous curriculum. We will also work with our students to teach them how to set goals and then how to work to reach those goals. Red Hills Academy will offer the Spanish language every day. Relationships are really important to us, not just with our students, but with our families and the community. This benefits parents and students alike because parents get that involvement within the school. Easily apply online today at redhillsacademy.com.
Right here in our hometown is a local spot where you can take a break from all your worries. A place where everybody knows his name is Smitty's Tap House and Grill. Smitty's deep appreciation for fine craft beers and tasty bar treats sets the stage as the ideal local neighborhood pub. Want to know more? Just visit Smitty'sTapHouse.com to check out the full menu. Come see us at Smitty's Tap House and Grill on Thomasville Road, just north of Cary Forest Parkway. You'll be glad you came, where everybody knows his name.
At Epps Decorating Center, we're your locally owned Benjamin Moore retailer. We're your store for quality with brilliant and durable paints in a variety of sheens and thousands of colors. We're your store for service with one-on-one advice for contractors and homeowners. We're your local experts, and we're here to help with all your painting projects. Benjamin Moore, available at Epps Decorating Center with 2 locations in Tallahassee. Find a store near you and visit EppsDecorating.com. That's EppsDecorating.com.
This is Patty Wilson.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're ready.
He's recording.
Why are you always saying your last name? It's Patty and Scott. Everybody knows
know that.
Patty and Scott.
I don't know. This is Patty Wilson. I am Patty Wilson.
What is the idea behind said promo?
It's for Patty's Playhouse. We're on Patty's Playhouse Saturdays at 11. Tune in. That's stupid. Just tune in. Saturdays at 11. Patty Wilson, Patty's Playhouse. House talk with a happy ending.
Each and every time.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Happy entries into the program today in the chat. Everybody's in a good mood, it looks like. I see you, Jimmy. I see that there's a 4-star offensive tackle from Oklahoma that's hit the portal at 6'8", 345 pounds. Yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it? That would be good. I'm sure we're on it. I'm sure he's also like, yeah, no, so's Alabama. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, but we can give you $50 in ones. So then you have 50 of them.
What, for the strip club or? I mean,
for anything. They might offer you $50 bills, but we can give it to you in singles, so you have more. It feels like you have more.
So, you know, I would tell you that I think that there's the need to be ever prepared early in the summer, which thank goodness, man, because that's content related. That helps us a lot. And now that there are all these books that are itching for our money, these lines are getting set, and that could tell us a different story. Like, what does the bet tell you? What is the story? What does the line tell you? What's the story of the game? Our good buddy Joey always points that out, right? Tell the story of the game.
Right. Yes. And it fills in the blanks for you, because it's not like you've got a bunch of inside intel on what's going on in Baton Rouge, for example. And so if the LSU line has crazy movement, and it's not happening in reality. I'm just saying that
you're using this as an example.
Yes.
Don't everybody run to Shreveport.
Right. If you saw that the
because
line,
you can get down to Shreveport, by the way.
yes, you can.
Yeah.
At 1.5, you can get real down to Shreveport. But if it gets down to 1.5, then you say, well, look at this. Something must be happening. There must be chaos afoot. I thought this was going to be well over a field goal. What's wrong with LSU? Good. There's dysfunction.
Oh, you can hope. Yeah, you can hope. I'll tell you that line being 4 made me feel good about Florida State +4.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
you could overcome 4 points. That's called coaching.
Well, yeah, and if you're going to keep it to within a field goal, then why not win the game, Tom? Why not win the game?
Yeah, I'm here for it.
You're allowed to win the game. You can surprise folks. You could pull the upset. We did, after years of me and Corey Clark yelling to the football gods and others that, you're allowed to win the game. Just because you're an underdog doesn't mean you're not allowed to win the game. Upsets, as the gambler knows, happens all the time. They happen all the time. Frustratingly so, or exhilaratingly so.
And if you dare to be greedy, there are darling teams every year. You know what that means? They've upset more than one other opponent. They've upset multiple opponents. What's going on in insert your college town name right here?
Mm-hmm.
There must be some magic in the air down there. That was our national championship opponent for the 2013 title. They weren't picked to do anything. And rightfully, they were dead and buried in multiple games, and they found a way to win them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that we could go to the playoff or anything crazy like that. I'm just saying, what's going on down in Tallahassee with 2 weeks to go? They've got 8 wins.
Oh, wouldn't that be a conversation?
Oh,
wouldn't that be a conversation? So, speaking of LSU, no program brought in more experienced out of the portal, more experienced players out of the portal than Brian Kelly's did. If you look at snaps,
the Alabama Slammer,
you look at snaps gained, the most in the country by over 1,000, over 4,000 more than the third most. Like, they went crazy. And, you think about all the guys that they lost, and then you look at what they've brought in. It is kind of fun to kind of figure out what it all means. I guess you would debate that until you figure out. Look, I think their defensive line looks pretty good. I think figuring out who's at quarterback, 3-man battle. They didn't get any clarity there. Offensive line, interesting. There's still enough talent that this should be fascinating. But they are a mystery, and I hate that they are, because I want certainty. I've not really necessarily gone down that route. But what I do know is this. NC State's going to be good. And they play East Carolina. And I couldn't believe Circa put that at 8.
Oh, okay.
8? Really? North Carolina State, just so you know, and maybe I was looking at these sorts of things, 7-1 in their last 8 games against American Athletic Conference teams. That's where East Carolina resides. That game 2 years ago in 2019 was 34-6. NC State. NC State returns not only an elite quarterback or a very good quarterback, they also have 1, 2, 3, 4 all ACC honorees on defense back, including Corey Durden. So the consensus number, and I looked at all of the books, is 10. Circa has it at 8. Tom, find you a bookie that lets you get down at -8 and jump on that all day. They're going to beat the brakes off of East Carolina.
Yeah, but what you're saying is that the number of 10 is even wrong. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, it's a 2-touchdown game. See, East Carolina, this is what happens. This is why
the reputation for that one upset once in a while.
Well, here's what happened. The reason for the opportunity to jump into the market here is that East Carolina won 7 games last year. They had their first winning season in over 6 years. Now, people see that 7-5 and they're like, East Carolina, it's 7-5. They had a great season. Well, did they? They found a way to beat FCS foe College of Charleston by mere, I think it was 3, something like that.
Is that so?
They barely won late against an FCS foe, Tom. They had another really close game against a terrible team. So they kind of, I don't see it.
It was a cheap 7-5. That's what you're saying.
It's a cheap 7-5. They're not real.
They're a fumble away from being 6-6.
I think Houston's done a very good job, the coach there, of getting this thing turned around in the right direction.
Is it
But
Houston
they're not.
nut?
It's Mike Houston.
Oh.
It's Mike Houston, Tom. Mike Houston's done a good job. Nice job. Again, winning season for the first time in over 6 years. But when you barely beat Charleston Southern, you have a couple other really ugly wins. I think the one over Navy was ugly. Listen, that was a 2-8 squad that they beat there. In that situation, this really screams more like a 5-win team. NC State could win the ACC, Tom. NC State could win the ACC. I'm going to take the dominant Power 5 ACC potential champion to knock off East Carolina by a lot more than 8. That's a look-ahead line loving from Jeff for you all out there. Go ahead and see if you can get that. Shop around, everybody.
Coach Houston from Carolina.
East Carolina.
That's right, East Carolina.
Mike Houston.
Right. He's the nephew of South Dakota. Thought it was North Dakota. South. North Dakota was his brother.
Fun, though. Isn't that fun?
That was. The thing is, I'm laughing, but you're so well researched at this point in your gambling career that I don't need to fact check. It's like asking Jimbo how many yards did Tony Dorsett rush for in 1977 or something like that.
Yeah.
That I'm sure 98% of what you said is like spot on.
All of it is spot on. I said.
Well, no, you were unsure about how many points that East Carolina beat college or whatever. That's the 2%.
Yeah.
That's 2% right there.
Yeah.
But that's not important. You're saying that it was a one-score game or a pitiful final, a pitiful result.
Yeah, they barely pulled it out. That's embarrassing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, these things can happen, but I feel good. About
They're going to call you Mr. May or Mr. June.
This is where the value is, man. This is where the value is. You've got to get after it while you can. And because people are putting out numbers for these look-ahead games more often, there are more opportunities to bet on games in May than I can ever recall. Now, that's for two reasons. One of them I already explained. There are more states that have legalized gambling, more entities that are ready to accommodate, right? Like really? Okay, we can get it on. We're going to get it on. And there's a race to get our money. There's a race out there to get the bettors' money. So these lines are like Circa is a little late to come out with their number. FanDuel's number came out a couple weeks ago. There's a few others.
So tell me about Arkansas. What's going on there?
I'll do it next. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
Florida Highway Patrol responded to a fatal wreck and car fire near the Madison-Jefferson County line on I-10 East Thursday afternoon. 3 people were pronounced dead. The crash scene was near mile marker 235 in the Jefferson County rest area. Traffic was completely blocked on the eastbound lane, and traffic was backed up on the west side as well. 3 vehicles were involved in the crash. One of them was upside down and fully engulfed in flames, while another vehicle crashed into the wood line. The crash happened just after 1. All lanes were reopened around 6:45 p.m. Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare says it's among the hospitals around the country dealing with a shortage of intravenous contrast dye, and as a result, some non-emergency procedures are being delayed. The dye is used in imaging and certain procedures like CT scans. The hospital says it expects those shipments to come in consistently again in the next few weeks. In the meantime, the hospital has enough contrast dye to meet the community's emergency care needs. This is Rachel Linnea with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by McLemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at McLemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Lots of sunshine this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 89. West winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Lows dip down to about 67 tonight. Mainly clear skies and quiet. Mainly clear skies again tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 88. Lots of sunshine outside Sunday with highs around 90. 91 Monday. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 85.
This is Dr. James Ryan Finn from Finn Chiropractic. In today's world, people are just stressed out. That could be causing subluxation of your spine. These misaligned vertebrae put pressure on the nerves, and they shut your body down, and it stops it from healing. So if you or a loved one are suffering from a condition with pain in your muscles, your tendons, or your joints, reach out to us at finnchiro.com and take advantage of our new patient special offer. That's FENNCHIRO.com, because your chiropractor loves you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Well. Hey, Jeff, look at this place. My goodness.
Well, doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you, brother, but, it hasn't been a while since I've been over to Gordo's. I go there on the regular because of you, Eddie.
Well, we keep you regular.
Well, that's true, but I think of Gordo's as a place to sit down, have a cold beer, talk to your friends, enjoy the sports, eat the delicious food. But I think of you as Uncle Eddie, a man who takes care of his people and takes care of the town.
I appreciate that, Jeff. Hey, and we'll keep you regular.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Here's what you missed on the Greg Tish Show.
We need to have history. We need to have literature. It deserves an explanation. We don't need to be promoting lifestyles that come into play for your average elementary school.
Well, I had an experience with this. When my daughter was in school, her teacher gave her a book to read, but then she asked me what the C word is.
That was in the book.
That was in the book.
Okay, so talking about the C word. So you're talking about conservatives, right?
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Jeff Cameron Show is sponsored by the legendary team at Hamilton Home Loans. Great rates, cutting-edge technology, and transparent communication is the recipe for a 5-star mortgage experience at FSUHomeLoans.com.
First team All ACC honoree and back. Man, golly, damn it.
He was good if he tried. He didn't try here.
He didn't try a lot, but we got to find a better way to bring that out because he was too talented to allow to just roll on Big River to NC State, who we have to play. And he kicked our ass.
I agree.
Because our center was on roller skates.
That's a complicated question to answer, though, because Odell has been here through thick and thin, and he didn't want to play for Odell. So what do you make of that?
How's he playing so well for NC State?
Was it that
sometimes
the Willie Taggart experience was that toxic?
It
that
could have been.
It could have affected
very well
and broken the bond of Odell and Durden?
That actually was the most. You bring up something, well, we allow for a peek behind the curtain for folks. That's really when those of us in the media, because I got the Willie Taggart thing wrong. I got it completely wrong. I thought he was going to be a good hire. And one of the reasons that he'd be a good hire was that he had proven himself to be a good recruiter. And recruiting takes relatability and you have to have and you can do it a lot of different ways. You can be a guy's friend, you can be a father figure, you can be a disciplinarian, you can be a player's coach. It doesn't really matter. There's a lot of different ways to get it done. And I didn't know what Willie's style was. I didn't presume any of that. All I knew was that he had done a good job in recruiting, so I assumed that would carry over. And if you do a good job in recruiting here, then you win big. That's just the way it works at Florida State.
Even if you're not the guy, you're going to leave the cupboard full for the next guy.
See Ronzuk, right?
Right.
So that's what happens, right? You get here and you have access to better players, and then you're a good recruiter. And even if you're not a great X's and O's, one of my best friends, a dear friend of mine that lives out on the West Coast, is an Oregon graduate. And when we got Willie, he called me. He's like, well, you're going to have a love-hate for Willie. And I said, really? And he goes, yeah.
That was first guest. You told me that before.
I did.
Yeah.
I said, why? And he goes, well, you're not going to be in love with game day. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. He goes, that's a mess.
Or walkthroughs.
Well, we didn't know that at the time. But he's like, you're not going to be in love with game day, but you're going to like other aspects of what he brings to the table. It just depends on who he surrounds himself with. And all that was pretty accurate. But so I got it wrong. And what I didn't realize, this is where I think those in the media began to really second guess Willie at a quicker time frame than you ordinarily would. And I get how that looks, and we don't need to relitigate this. We've already had this conversation. It was when veteran players that had been here that can really, I think they know the truth. They know what a guy is or isn't, right? They know when they're being BS'd. They know when somebody is not cutting the mustard.
Or big timed. Yeah.
Yeah. And we started hearing from players that they didn't believe in what was happening here. And Odell Higgins is a guy that did not believe in what was happening here. That's a guy that was looking at Willie going, man, I've seen everything under the sun. He was a great player. You know, you think about his time with Coach Bowden, Coach Fisher, all of the assistants over the years, the different guys, right? And he knew what was the truth and what wasn't. And now he didn't say this publicly, but I think you could sense there were people that thought like he did, like, this ain't it. This ain't it. This isn't going to work. How about that? That's a better way of saying it. This isn't going to work.
Yeah, I don't know specifically of which you speak. All I know is that I heard rumors, separate whatever you're talking about, that if Willie was around, Odell would not have
Odell was
returned.
not coming back.
Yeah.
He was not.
Yeah.
And so I just think that once that happens, then you're off. So what happens when that happens? When people find that out, when players don't believe, and you talk about not playing hard for somebody, this is to answer your question. There it is. If the head coach isn't somebody they can buy into and believe, they don't have to like, but they have to believe in what it is. Not only they're saying, they're preaching, they're teaching, and they're implementing it. You have to believe in this program mantra. And the results will come and go. You might have some wins, big wins. You might have some big losses. It might be the moments of great pride and disappointment, everything in between. But you got to believe in that guy. And if you don't think that guy's the truth, if you don't think he's the real deal, then position coaches have no chance because the head man isn't believable. And I think that answers your question as to Corey Durden, who's just dealt with the toxicity of those moments and was kind of like, man, we didn't blame a lot of guys at that point who decided to get a fresh start. We really didn't.
No, and that's where Marvin was a hero before he was the anti-hero. You know, he was the kid who wanted to play hurt, and Odell is, as the interim coach, crying at the dais because Marvin wants to make sure that, you know, things are assured for a bowl. You know, like that was the deal.
To him, yeah. It's interesting to watch how that's played out. That is why.
Or was that the Jimbo time? Well, either way, whatever it was.
But that's why you cut bait. That's why it happened so soon, is when all of a sudden the players and the coaches, some coaches alike, are like, I don't know about all this. And we know of other people specifically who are within the organization, somebody who's not any longer here, who's like, that ain't it. This is not going to get it done.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, not going to get it done. And I remember thinking, God, I really respect this guy's opinion. And he's not the kind of guy to fly off the handle and just say something to say it. I mean, he pulled me aside and was like, no, we got problems. We got problems. That was in year 2, early on. He's like, we got problems.
You need to put in a public records request for the walkthrough on the road at X game. Because guess what?
Yeah,
they won't be able to give it to you.
Yeah, when you start getting things like that, I'll tell you guys, this is funny, and then we'll just move on. When personnel, people who work in the athletic department and for a program, for a coach, when they seek you out, not you seek them out, they seek you out and say, hey, have you checked this? Have a good day. Good to see you. That's when you're kind of like, oh, people are laying it bare. They're throwing it out there. And then you make that decision. You know, obviously the surface level stuff, it looks terrible. What it did do was open the door for some other guys who hadn't gotten to their 3rd year to get fired as well. That's where it changed everything.
That's true.
Our boy at Liberty, we got to roll on Big River. All that weird stuff. There were weird factors. The game changed. It was already on the verge of changing. We just happened to be the wrong side, certainly of the PR battle on that one. But one thing that I thought about all that at the time was like, man, looking back, we got guys that are really loyal soldiers rolling up going, why don't you talk to so-and-so? Like, oh, well, should I?
That's the kind of thing an athletic department might tell you.
Yeah,
if they were in trouble.
Yeah.
You know, they might say changes are coming.
That's also the thing that when you store that away and you move on to future regimes. So Mike comes in. It's hard, you know, not to win the press conference. He wins the press conference. It's an over-the-top sort of preacher thing. But you're like, okay, well, you know, it's going to be a little fire and brimstone. At least he didn't make crazy promises like winning the national championship in 2 years. And so you're just sort of sitting there thinking to yourself, all right, well, let's see. Now you know certain questions to ask, certain people to talk to. So you also are observing very closely certain individuals that were a little frustrated by the previous set of circumstances. And those guys, like, do they buy in? And so when you go through the losses like we most certainly have, and you're waiting for that other shoe to drop and it doesn't drop, then you go, okay, good. Am I missing something in the chat here? I haven't been watching.
No, sir.
I'm not looking at all. I just see you, and I was worried that you were.
No, you're good. I know why you would think this particular topic might be like, hey.
Oh, I'm not worried.
Full alert on the chat.
No, it's Live Nations Friday. We're having a good conversation. I'm not overly concerned about it. It's just that sometimes I don't look at it, and maybe I need to. And
you'd know. It wouldn't be like a smirk. I'd be like.
It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Hey, no fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Well. Hey, Jeff, look at this place.
Yeah. Well, doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you, brother, but, it hasn't been a while since I've been over to Gordo's. I go there on the regular because of you, Eddie.
Well, we keep you regular.
Well, that's true, but I think of Gordo's as a place to sit down, have a cold beer, talk to your friends, enjoy the sports, eat the delicious food. But I think of you as Uncle Eddie, a man who takes care of his people and takes care of the town.
I appreciate that, Jeff. Hey, and we'll keep you regular.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Congratulations to all the class of 2022 graduates.
Congratulations to Parker Bell at Childs High School. We are so incredibly proud of you and can't wait to see what the future has in store as you start at the University of Florida in the fall. Go Gators and congratulations.
If you'd like to send a congratulations message over the air to your graduate, just call the Lively Technical College Grad Star line at 850-523-7890.
Dirty exterior? Don't scrub it. Wet it and forget it. Wet and Forget, the easy outdoor cleaner. Wet and Forget works over time with Mother Nature to eliminate unsightly black and green stains on the exterior of your home with no scrubbing, power washing, or bleach. Use Wet and Forget on all your outdoor surfaces, including decks, siding, roofs, and patios. Wet and Forget's available in a concentrate or extreme reach hose-in. Purchase Wet and Forget in store or online at Lowe's, Menards, Ace, or Walmart.
Angie's List is now Angie, your home for everything home. With Angie, you could cross your next project off your to-do list before this ad is over. Just tell us what you need and we'll handle the rest, sending a top pro to get it done. Or browse reviews, compare quotes from pros, and connect instantly, all for free. For everything from routine maintenance to a dream remodel. Because however you want your project done, we'll get it done. Download the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com to get started.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas Wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
That pool into shape. It's Memorial Day. What are you waiting for? There is nothing wrong with asking for a little help from Terry's Pool Service. Summer is here. Your family is expecting to see a backyard paradise with green water, yellow pollen, and a collection of who knows what in the corner. You'll need help, and fast. Needless to say, Terry's Pool Service will save your pool. Check them out at terryspools.net or call 850-580-7334 because you never know when you're going to need them. How's your pool?
It's ready. It's ready.
Warm enough now, right?
Oh, totally. I've been in it for good exercise swims. Haven't done a hangout at the pool yet, so that'll be coming soon.
quite the opposite of the exercise swim is the hangout.
Yeah.
And that's the much more enjoyable pool experience.
It is indeed, although once you get in for the exercise swim and you're not, just panting and covered in sweat, that's also kind of a weird feeling, but cool.
Yeah, the post-hardcore swim is nice because you just float.
Right. Yeah.
It's a good deal.
And it is, as you know, we talk about it with the rowing machine too. It's as close as you can get to swimming, but it's just a total body exhaustion. That's awesome.
Swimming's hard. I think swimming may be the hardest. I think swimming's the hardest of the things, man. I think swimming's the hardest. It's really brutal. The Sugar Bowl has been moved off of its usual primetime spot now to noon on December 31st in order to avoid conflict with a Monday night NFL game, Tom. The bowl schedule is out and about. Not that everybody's racing to that, but since we're going bowling this year, we should check out what that schedule looks like. Bowl Season's an actual Twitter account at Bowl Season.
Really?
Yeah.
So is the Pinstripe Bowl, has that been made public yet? Because that's what I'm eyeing this year. Can we get to the Pinstripe Bowl?
Well, I got to click on the sheet here, Tom. It's awfully small.
Wouldn't you want to cover the Pinstripe Bowl?
In New York City?
Yeah.
Of course I would.
In December?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. The Pinstripe Bowl, I see the Arizona Bowl, which is not what you're looking for. Where the hell is the Pinstripe Bowl, Tom? There it is. It's in the Bronx on December 29th.
Interesting. Okay.
December 29th.
I like that, though.
Same day as the famed Cheez-It Bowl in Orlando.
That's the Herbie Bowl.
The Duke's Bowl in Charlotte, North Carolina for the crappy mayonnaise. El Paso, Texas, just by definition, not where you want to be for a bowl game, but they're on the 30th. That's the day after, so you know.
I feel like the media gift, not that matters, but the media gift for
matters.
the Pinstripe Bowl is like $5 off your New Era 5950 selection. That's what it's going to be.
Well, we know what it is. We did it a year ago. We had a big time with it.
No, the media gift, not the player gift.
Gosh, I really do lament the status of the media gift. As a member of the media, we've been slighted for several years now.
Yeah.
At one time, you got leather carrying cases, computer carrying cases. You had, I have some leather bags from 20 years ago that are unreal, like $500 bags.
I know. I was envious of that when I first took the internship. Like, look at that.
Look at that bag.
We get those?
Yeah, we used to.
No.
Not anymore. Here's a straw. Hour number 2, forthcoming. Stay with.
Coming up next, more of the Jeff Cameron Show. Live and local on Real Talk 93.3. WVFT, Greta, Tallahassee.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Former President Trump says this week's fatal shooting in Texas has sent a strong message to government officials at all levels.
We need protection in our schools. We need real protection in our schools. You know, these are forces that are very evil. They've affected the minds, and we have to stand strong.
Mr. Trump appeared this morning on the Sam Malone Show on AM 1070 in Houston. He'll be speaking this afternoon at the National Rifle Association annual convention in Houston. Republican Senator John Cornyn of Texas spoke to reporters on Capitol Hill, saying he supported background check legislation in the past and is willing to work on something in response to the tragedy in Uvalde.
I'm afraid this young man was a ticking time bomb, but I'm interested in trying to figure out what it is we might be able to do that would make that kind of event less likely in the future.
Meanwhile, top law enforcement officials say the shooter, Salvador Ramos, was inside that Uvalde school for more than an hour before he was shot to death by Border Patrol tactical officers. The attack killing 19 school children and 2 teachers. The 18-year-old gunman also died. Also at townhall.com, if you haven't booked your summer vacation plans yet, well, you're already too late to snag the best deals.
Travel experts say airfares are up, hotel rates are up, and airlines are bracing for a big summer. High prices are not the only thing travelers need to worry about. Airlines have thousands fewer employees than they did before the pandemic. That means they could struggle to handle the expected crowds.
Correspondent Jeremy House with that report. On Wall Street, technology stocks again helping to push the market higher The Dow up 323 points, and the Nasdaq adding 292. More at townhall.com.
Inflation is up and stock prices are down. If you're worried about what that means for your retirement, pay attention. I'm Al Labaroa, founder of Knight Strategic Wealth. Nobody wants to run out of money in retirement. That's why with our annuity strategy, when the stock market goes up, you earn a market-linked return that locks in every year. And when the stock market goes down, your annuity won't lose a dime. There are no unnecessary fees, and it works for your investments, money to brokerage firm, or even money to bank. It's simple and it's safe, and that's why savvy investors work with us. Want to learn more? Text free to 833-898-0500, and we'll send our retirement readiness kit directly to your phone right now. If you want to use safe, low-fee annuities to build a retirement portfolio that will go up with the market and never lose money, get our retirement readiness kit today and see how this strategy can help secure your future. Text free to 833-898-0500. Text free to 833-898-0500.
Hi, my name is Shannon Pash, and I'm the principal at Red Hills Academy. We will provide a challenging, rigorous curriculum. We will also work with our students to teach them how to set goals and then how to work to reach those goals. Red Hills Academy will offer the Spanish language every day. Relationships are really important to us, not just with our students, but with our families and the community. This benefits parents and students alike because parents get that involvement within the school. Easily apply online today at redhillsacademy.com.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Eligible for with a 9-3 record, writes Alan, despite the fact that you piss me off occasionally. I love you, Tom, Corey, Ira, Aslan, and all things Warchant.
Oh, I thought you were saying that. I thought you were saying despite you pissed me off.
No, Alan. I pissed Alan
right.
off. I pissed Alan off. But last week I felt like Alan, or was it earlier this week? It was earlier this week, Alan. Felt like we maybe connected a little bit more because I said, well, then tell me what you think is good. He thinks 9-3. Alan is an optimist.
It's possible.
10-2 is possible, Tom. Hell.
9-3.
11-1, buddy.
All right.
In Alan's world, we're probably closer to that.
All right.
No. What bowl? Well, do we win the Atlantic, Alan? Or are we Atlantic Division champions competing for the ACC championship? We'd be eligible for some good quality bowls. I don't even know anymore. It's all changed. It's shifted. The allegiances, the tie-ins have changed.
I feel like
so
that
much over the
screams
years.
Orlando.
It does scream Orlando,
doesn't it? Like you'd rather go to the Fenway Bowl or the Pinstripe Bowl. Like, can we just pick the destination? That's the way it should be. Is, here's the orange, Then there's whatever. Sometimes the Orange Bowl's taken for the playoffs. So you got your New Year's 6 tie-in.
Right.
Then I think the next one up is in Orlando. We've been out of this conversation for so long that it's hard to remember. But then you've got Fenway or the Bronx or the Belk Bowl, although I think that tie-in is gone now. But you should be able to choose. New Year's 6, if you're the top dog, you're in. You don't get a choice. That's where you're going because that's the best payout. But then after that, if you don't want to go to Orlando again, then I pick somewhere else. I'm going to Fenway.
So once you get past the Rose and the Sugar and the Fiesta and the Orange, then you start trying to see like, okay, what are those other tie-ins? And I that's where it's changed so much. Like there's so many different bowls now, such as the Cheez-It Bowl, New Mexico Bowl, the Duke's Mayo Bowl. I don't know. It's hard. If you go back, I know you could go to the Pinstripe Bowl. There was that. We could go there.
Yeah, that's a tie-in.
I'm in on that one. Let me find some ACC bowls from.
I get it, Live Spectator.
Back.
It is about ticket sales, but I don't care about ticket sales. I care about going different places. This is me talking, not the university.
We are eligible to go to that Cheez-It Bowl. That's in Orlando. That's what you were talking about. That's the Camping World one.
Yeah. Oh, that's Cheez-It now? Okay.
It's the Cheez-It Bowl at Camping World Stadium. That Camping World Stadium hosts a lot of bowls.
Yeah.
That you can go there. That's Orlando. I don't want to. Alan, to answer your question specifically, we would be eligible for that one. I would think that also that Duke's Mayo Bowl, which is in Charlotte, North Carolina. That yes,
used to be the Belk Bowl.
Yeah, same thing. We're eligible for that one.
Preston points out that
the Gator Bowl, obviously,
the Outback Bowl is no longer the Outback Bowl. It is now called the Tampa Bay Bowl, and he said that stings. I agree. That does sting.
I hate that it is. Yeah.
It should also be at 10 a.m. on New Year's Day.
I also remember when Ole Miss and Indiana played in that bowl game, and I was like, this is the least Outback Bowl ever. Why are they playing at one another? This shouldn't happen. That was the COVID
It's
year.
supposed to be Iowa and Michigan.
Well, not Michigan necessarily.
No,
Iowa
like,
and South Carolina,
those
or
are,
Michigan and somebody. Yeah.
No, but those are your two Big Ten teams.
Right.
It's always going to be Iowa or
Why
Michigan.
Why is Indiana here?
And like South Carolina, and that's it. Those are your teams.
Well, it is January 2nd at noon or January 1st at 12:30 or whatever. I mean, that was always our fun. Let's take a look at the announcers. What hue are the announcers? Are they sweating profusely and not just because it's still hot in Tampa in January?
Right. For years, my parents insisted on going to Disney for New Year's because the fireworks show is spectacular.
It is, but
as a child, I remember going to the cafeteria, whatever hotel we were staying at, and there would be the Outback Bowl the morning after. It's like, oh yeah, that's right. They're in the second quarter.
You can smell the people, the whiskey, and everything
that's
just coming off of them. Yeah,
I didn't know that at the time.
Yeah,
but you could. It wafted up all the way I-4, northwest or northeast on I-4.
Alan, specifically, I would tell you that we would be eligible at that point. I think most likely for us to go play the Gator Bowl. I think that's what would happen. That's like 9-3 every time.
And could we opt out and choose a different place?
You don't want to go to TIAA Bank Field?
No, I want to go
Stadium,
to FEN Way. That's where I want to go.
You want to go to Fenway? My buddy is at Fenway right now with his beautiful wife. They're over there to watch baseball. Good times. Today. They're there today.
Today.
Excited for them. Or this weekend, whatever it is. They're going. They're having fun. Could we go to... You want to go somewhere tropical? No. You want to go to the opposite.
That's the beat pink Steve Levy at the Bahamas Bowl.
Beat pink?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He couldn't wear a pink Hawaiian shirt or else it would look like he wasn't wearing clothes.
Yeah, you could should always be Wisconsin versus Tennessee, writes Preston.
That's true. Tennessee and South Carolina should be in the mix for the Outback Bowl every year.
That's funny. So I promised you, I teased you with this, and I'm sure people are like, get to the Arkansas bet. Tom asked for it.
I did.
You guys already could look it up, man. They're gonna pound Cincinnati. Cincinnati.
Woo-hoo-hoo, big story.
There it is. Cincinnati lost 9 players in the NFL draft. Now, that is stunning when you consider how many players Florida State had in the NFL draft. Cincinnati had 9, Tom.
9 more than Texas.
Yes, they had 9. And, yeah, they lose Desmond Ridder at quarterback. And, okay. And actually, the guy that they got playing quarterback, Tom, for Cincinnati this year is the guy that was at Cincinnati who got beat out by Desmond Ridder. He transferred and went to like Eastern Michigan. Now he's transferred back to Cincinnati, and his name is Ben Bryant. He'll be starting for Cincinnati this year. He's no Desmond Ridder.
Cincinnati had 8 more draft picks
than
Texas and Florida State combined.
It's painful.
Chew on that.
It's painful. That game is in Fayetteville, and I was surprised to see Circa had it at less than a touchdown. I like Arkansas to stomp Cincinnati. I will give less than a touchdown. 6.5 is the number. I've seen it as high as 9. That's not a number you want. If it is, you can go back around the other way and bet that for Cincinnati. But
is that the opening weekend, or is that a future bet like in October? Because you had referenced that you're seeing games in weird spots.
Yeah, no, that's the first week.
Okay.
It's week 1. It's week 1, week 0, week 1, one of those two.
So the folks in the chat were talking about another week 1 matchup, which is Utah at Florida. And that number is Utah minus 1.5 in Gainesville.
It's in Gainesville.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought you said in Utah. I was like, no.
No, sorry. So I thought I said Utah at Florida. But yeah, Utah minus 1.5 on the road in Gainesville.
Yeah.
You're a Utah guy. That's why I bring this up.
Well, they'll also hit the ground running because they have returning their starting quarterback as well as an offensive line that is really good and that can run the ball. They always play good defense. They're very physical. I think Utah will have a very good season this year. I already like them at their total to go over. I do this with Utah. Kyle Whittingham, man, is a good coach. He's just a really good coach.
That's a game we'll be watching in New Orleans on our off day.
So Napier has to deal with that right off the bat.
Yeah.
Man, that's a tough game. It's a great game. That's a home and home, by the way.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
So the Gators are going to leave the time zone.
It's
God
a
bless them.
miracle. Cam Rising, when Utah went to Cam Rising last year, it changed their season. And remember, Utah had the season that they did, winning the Pac-12, going to the Rose Bowl after tragedy after tragedy after tragedy. You had guys getting shot and killed in season. You had tragedies occur out in Utah. I think you had 2 different players die. One was shot, another awful situations out there. And you also had to change your quarterback. And then Cam Rising threw for, if I remember this right, because I had money on him every week, over 2,500 yards and over 20 touchdowns and less than 4 interceptions or something like that. Like, he was spectacular.
I'm sure that's right. You know, as your therapist, I need to ask you a question. Do you want to live in the state of Utah?
No, I just like that team. I like that program, and I like their uniforms.
But consider that Utah State used to be your team.
That was my team.
So I'm seeing a pattern here. Like, if BYU is your next team that you're on in a couple of years, either to play one way or the other, then I think you want to move to Utah. I think you want to live out there.
Utah's a beautiful state filled with a lot of weird people. I've been there a couple times, done some skiing, Park City, good times.
Don't they have rules that you have to become a member of a bar for a day to go in?
They did. I think that's all gone now. It's been a number of years since I've been there, but you had, in order to drink, you had to become a member at the bar you were at. And they would, so this is how it would work. You became a member and then you could order a beer, and then whatever the member's fee was, it went to the Mormon church. So that's how they were just fleecing all the bars. And in essence, that's how that went. That's shocking, I know.
So not only is it tax-free, you get alcohol.
Oh,
money.
yeah.
That's outstanding. We should have come up with that.
Good gig if you can get it. But yeah, it was, so the whole thing was absurd, but I certainly paid to be a member. I mean, we weren't going to be out there dry for all.
What are we doing?
What are we doing? So they preyed on suckers like me. So yeah.
In both ways, yeah.
That's the way it was. Now, I don't think that's the way it is anymore. I think that changed. And back then, if I want to say the beer was weaker too, it was like 2%. It was awful. It was,
No duels.
Yeah, it was like, what are we doing? Well, I guess we're drinking 20 of these. So yeah, it was.
Give me a 40 ounce of Johnny.
I do that program, criminally underrated every year. They're physical. They can run the ball. They've got a good quarterback play. They got a good coach. I like them. I think that's a great game, though. I don't think Utah has more talent on their roster than Florida.
They've got a better idea of who they are.
Well, they have an identity. They know exactly what and who they are. Yeah, I agree with that. That is going to be a fun game. I love that. This is, if you remove how much we hate Florida and you only think, and how much I've really enjoyed Utah's play, I think if you just look at this as a college football fan, this is what you beg for. This is what you want to see, because it's, again, and check me if I'm wrong on this. I don't think I am. I think it's a home and home. So that is what you want in college football, man. None of this will meet you in,
That's also a 4:00 kickoff that day. This is perfect. So the day is going to be spread out very nicely the day before we take on LSU. You got to love it.
I am so excited to watch that game, to deal with that day, to have that kind of fun. That is going to be a good afternoon of football viewing. I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited for the season already. I mean, it's nearly June. Here we go.
We start in August.
Here we go.
For crying out loud.
Right around the corner. What are we going to do? Start planning your tailgates.
We're pretty close to under 90 days.
Oh, man. Once practice starts, then it's a daily sort of, all right, let's lock it in, because the competitions around here are going to be so good. That is the whole thing, is that this is, and competition, I know that I'm reiterating something I've said a lot, but for Florida State, one of the things that I railed against, much to Alan's chagrin, is that they've lacked depth. So football being a game, a war of attrition, as they say, you're going to have injuries. And if you suffer injuries, how good is the replacement player? Well, in recent years, the replacement player is a minus player. So when you lost a guy, the drop-off was significant. The other part of not having depth that was problematic, the way it affected your overall program and your ability to win close games, your ability to gain confidence, so many factors, was the lack of spirited competition on a daily basis in practice. So what is it your offense is seeing from your defense? What is your defense seeing from your offense? And how is that preparing the team for Saturdays? Not just, can you execute what it is we do? Can you execute what it is that, our philosophy, our game plan, whatever it is for that given week? No. How well does it prepare you to deal with bigger, stronger, faster, spirited competition, intensity, toughness, the ability to get up off the mat after getting beat? When you're in big-time competition on a regular basis, on a daily basis, because guys are flying around trying to win jobs, man, everything is elevated. And also the speed of the game is such that when you get out there on a Saturday, that's supposed to be an easier version of what you're dealing with as a football player, because the intensity of your practices are such that this is now just execution of game plan. This is now just making sure we keep our composure and execute what it is we know how to do, what it is we've been working on. Because every day in practice, Alabama and Ohio State, these guys, they see 5 stars across from 5 stars all the time. By the time they take the field, the people they're playing against are not matching up with them the way that their own players are in practice on a daily basis. We haven't had that in a long time, and that has pissed me off to no end.
Yeah, that's the headline that made its rounds in Athens and in college football circles that we know all too well. Alabama knows better than all too well, is when a player says the games were easier than practice. The games were easier, competition-wise, not intensity-wise, but competition-wise, because I'm going up against worse players week in and week out. They said that during 29 in a row. Here, they said that, the players.
Oh, of course.
Games were easier. Right now, the games are not easier.
Man,
practice is way easier than the games.
Well, we found out a year ago that when we saw corners in practice dominating receivers in one-on-ones, that did not mean that those corners were any good. It meant that our receivers were terrible. And so you can be fooled while you watch practice. You're like, man, we're going to be much better in the secondary this year. Start the year, we certainly were not. I mean, not in any way, shape, or form. And then once confusion hit, you had finger pointing, and kind of a miracle that they didn't really break apart. And this is where that staff gets a lot of credit from me. Fuller gets a lot of credit from me. Norvell gets a lot of credit from me, because they stayed the course, and they figured out who they could trust and who they couldn't. They sat some guys, brought some other guys, moved some guys around, and just, listen, trust me on this. And I think, for Fuller, I got to give him a lot of credit, man, because he was under the gun. You had guys, because he's not a big name. He's not somebody that comes in here with the resume that demands your respect. So if things aren't working out and you're a player, you start looking over there like, who the hell is this guy? I mean, this is the guy that says he's putting me in a position to succeed, and every week we're giving up 40, and there's confusion. Are we sure that I'm working for the right guy here? Am I being put in the best position to succeed? Because I'm the one who looks like a fool when this goes south. And yet, Adam found a way to become more relatable and to sit down across from them and I think sow seeds of trust, right? Like, just, I know it's not good right now. I need you to listen to me. We've done this. This is what we do when we see this look. This is how this operates. And eventually he got buy-in.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of a couple of things. You got to give him a lot of credit because some of the players that stepped up for us in the second half of the season were malcontents under the previous coaching regime and in the beginning of this one. So that's where he gets credit for being more relatable. But then also they laid the law down a little bit on the hashtag a-holeness of the defensive back room. And you saw them play within themselves.
While, but they did.
It took long. It took about too long, almost too long. But if this ends up being a good season where the defense does lead the way and they're the backbone of whatever win total we have that we feel good about, if they are, then it was almost too long, but it wasn't too late. That's the key here. And you hope that's the narrative moving forward because they're good guys. You want that to be the story for them.
Yeah, I do. I root for them. Yeah. Lay the 6.5 with Arkansas, everybody. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Congratulations to all the class of 2022 graduates.
Carson Potter from Childs High School. Congratulations, Carson. We are so proud of you. We love you. From the family. Congratulations to Parker Bell at Childs High School. We are so incredibly proud of you and congratulations.
Call 850-523-7890 and leave us your messages for a graduate in your family. Congratulations from Envision Credit Union.
Physical stress on our bodies can take its toll as the years go by. Whether you're looking to get back into an old sport or just want to spend more time outdoors to explore all life has to offer in our beautiful city, the dedicated team at TOC is here for you every step of the way. You can trust TOC for all your orthopedic needs. And now, scheduling an appointment has never been easier. Just visit teamtoc.com and click schedule online. That's teamtoc.com.
Refreshing and simple. 2 words you don't hear many people use to describe their experience going through the process of getting a home loan. That's what puts the Hamilton Home Loans experience in a category all their own. If you're buying or refinancing a home, Hamilton Home Loans will provide a personalized mortgage experience that is dedicated to making the process refreshingly simple. It all begins with an initial consultation with an experienced Hamilton Home Loans advisor to find out what your goals are in order to find the right mortgage to suit your specific needs. Then, your personal home loan advisor will take you through all the steps from application, underwriting, approval, and closing, all the way to the front steps of your new home. Once you've experienced the Hamilton Home Loan process, you can be a customer for life and never have to pay lender fees again. For first responders, nurses, physician assistants, teachers, active and retired military, ask about the Hamilton for Heroes program. Personalized attention with your needs put first. Now that's refreshingly simple. Find out more at HamiltonHomeLoans.com. That's HamiltonHomeLoans.com.
Equal housing lender. NMLS number 200719.
The weather is unpredictable and can cause issues around your home. Weston Trawick provides commercial, residential, and industrial electrical wiring services, yearly inspections on fire alarms, portable generator sales, and so much more. With 24/7 emergency service and repair, Weston Trawick will be your calm in the storm. Give them a call at 514-0003. Weston Trawick, professional electrical services day or night. Visit online at westontrawick.com.
Matt, when you think of a successful Southern cookout, what do you think of first?
The food, of course.
The food, but you got to think about the food prep. And Hearth and Patio has thought about that with their awesome grills.
What kind of grills?
Fire Magic, Broil Master, Blaze Grills, Kamado Joe. Matt, they got it all.
Wow.
Custom outdoor kitchens. Create an outdoor cooking space.
You'll be the envy of your neighborhood.
You will be the envy of your neighborhood, and you'll make a lot of people jealous. That's because you called Hearth and Patio at 850-727-4282. That's 850-727-4282. Or you can visit Hearth and Patio online at hearthpatiotallahassee.com.
It's a backyard barbecue party. Leslie Holcomb's the number one more time.
850-727-4282. That's 850-727-4282. 4282. Hearth and Patio, they not only keep the home fires burning, Hearth and Patio will elevate your grilling game.
Nice.
Nice indeed.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show is sponsored by the legendary team at Hamilton Home Loans. Great rates, cutting-edge technology, and transparent communication is the recipe for a 5-star mortgage experience at FSUHomeLoans.com.
Three is your radio home for Tallahassee Soccer Club matches. You know that. Tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, Tallahassee Soccer Club hosts Florida Roots at Gene Cox Stadium. If you want to go to the game and bring your kids, they get in for free. Adult tickets are just $7. Head over to Cox Stadium tomorrow or tune in right here on your home for Tallahassee Soccer Club. Real Talk Radio 93.3.
It's the 850 Cup they're battling for.
Mm.
It's just this side of the Jefferson Epps.
The 850 Cup. We held it aloft.
We got to get the Jefferson Epps back. What the hell is wrong with us?
Been a minute. Golly. I was at that Virginia game on the road, sitting on the 50, driving down the field, and then the mass confusion. Go figure.
Somebody was wide open.
Just the mass confusion is so frustrating, though, when you get down there on the inside the 5. You're like, what are we doing? What are we doing? So there's all that. But, you know, a couple of years from now, when we're in the college football playoff, Tom, we're going to look back and be like, oh, it was just a minor bump in the road.
That will be the biggest exhale ever heard on broadcast radio if we're back in the college football playoff.
Yeah, we will not be in the college football playoff in 2 years, guys, just so you know that.
If we're ever back in the college football
Well,
playoff.
hey, now you're going to piss off Alan. Now, listen.
I should not. I'm the optimist in this crew.
How excited? Here's a question. Now, you know I don't care at all. And I'm not doing it to be a jerk. I thought of you today because I saw the promotion. Are you excited about, is it Obi-Wan Kenobi? Is that a movie?
That's a limited run series on Disney Plus. And yes, of course.
You like that storyline of Obi-Wan Kenobi, do you?
I don't know yet because this is never before told. So we're going to get some new
So
intel.
we don't know how old man Obi-Wan Kenobi came to be.
That's right.
The way that he was the first time we ever saw him.
They're bridging the gap. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, they're stealing. They can make one of these for every. They're going to make one on like an individual stormtrooper. How did he become such a bad shot? Here you go.
Well, there you go.
There you go. There's a whole series. You can make 5 of these out of it.
It's kind of overblown in episode 4. They let him go. It's part of the plot. It's right there in the dialogue.
Obi-Wan. Well, I don't know. Who is it playing Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Ewan McGregor, who was one of the few, if only one of 2 bright spots in the prequels. There were 2 bright spots. Dude who played the Emperor and dude who played Obi-Wan. Both good jobs.
How many of these movies have there been now?
Movies? Are you talking about the Skywalker saga or the spinoffs as well?
So what is a proper Star Wars film?
What is it? Well,
so here's
anything that's canonical would be the answer.
Right. Okay. So hold on a second. Now I get that. No, honestly, now this is for the people. Now, guys, I've seen Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back and Revenge of the Jedi. Or Return of the Jedi. Whatever.
Well, that was the original name. That's very good.
It was Revenge of the Jedi.
But it was not in theaters. They changed it before it was.
It should have always been Revenge. But anyway,
yeah, I agree.
So
they thought that was too aggressive of a word for the Jedi, who were more peaceful.
Okay. Well, those 3 I've seen.
Which is also debatable. They're not very peaceful.
I also saw the one with Kylo Ren and the
There are several with Kylo. Yeah.
Well, I think I saw the first one where
Yeah.
they came down to that planet and they were shooting everybody up.
Yeah. That's actually kind of a tough start for a
Yeah,
kids movie.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. What was the name of that
a
one?
little bit of genocide, huh?
Yeah.
All right. That would be The Force Awakens, episode 7.
I saw The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
What was the one that had the stupid?
Here we go.
No. Well, there've been so many, but the one that had the dumb character that everybody hated.
Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks.
That's episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
I saw some of that.
And you don't need to.
At that point, I decided I was never going to watch any more of these.
Well,
because this is ridiculous.
That's prejudicial. Any Star Wars fan, any Star Wars fan would tell you that's you throw that one out. That's just a toss. Toss it away.
It happened a long time ago. It's when they were trying to bring us back.
1999.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I saw it. I was like, oh, this is what we're doing?
Agreed.
So how many?
Lucas fell in love with the CGI a little bit there.
So how many? So is that a proper Star Wars film?
Unfortunately,
you don't have to like it, but is it a proper Star Wars?
Yes, it is. It's one of the 9 episodes of the Skywalker saga, which I would argue is actually the Palpatine saga, because the most recent one undercut everything. It's like, this isn't about the Skywalkers at all.
So the one I saw with Kylo Ren, is that the one at the very end when Luke is on the rock staring off at the sea?
That's it. Somewhere.
Yeah, that was it. That was the last one. That was the
sea.
last one I saw. How many more have there been since him staring at the?
Well, that was 7. There's 9. There's 9 of those.
Okay.
They go trilogy.
I thought there were 37.
Well,
Every
but there's
time
also
I look up, there's another Star Wars something.
Well, there's Rogue One, which was good. That's a war movie. Well done.
Don't think I saw it.
Solo, not so hot.
That looked terrible.
It did. It was better than it looked, but that doesn't mean much. Yeah.
Okay.
And then there are spin-off series as well. Some of them are quite good. Some are flops.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know. I want to know. It's
Any
Goosey
pepper
Editions
me.
of Friday.
I'm here. I got it all.
I know you do. I know you do.
And I'll have the knowledge because they released 2 episodes today of Kenobi.
Oh, not just one.
Not just one.
What a big day.
Oh, I'm popping popcorn for an hour and a half, 2 hours of enjoyment.
Is that going to be tonight or tomorrow? I think probably tomorrow.
Well, if I stay off my phone, it'll be tomorrow. But too many people are talking about it right now. Don't put anything in that. In fact, I'm ignoring the chat now.
Well, nobody's seen it today, have they? I mean, good God. Is it already? Can you download it now? Can you watch it?
It was out last night. Yeah. Late last night. They were like, surprise, we're releasing it early. And I said, damn it.
We got asked a question in the chat from Tom. He wants to know, he cares nothing about Star Wars. And I'm not saying I do either. A lot of times you can hear the cynicism in my voice. I want to know who you think. He wants to know who we think the top 5 NFL teams are. You want to do that when we come back? Because it's fun. That is actually kind of fun.
Before we do, as somebody asked us for marital advice, if you want to give that. Somebody's getting married tomorrow.
By the way, the 5 I'm going to give you right now. Buffalo 1.
Ooh, so that's the teaser, huh? We got to figure out the other 4.
People can figure out that the Chiefs are in it.
Oh, well, then this isn't a fun question at all. It's basically it's a who's eliminated question. Is my team eliminated? But Bob,
I'll just do it. I'll do it, and then I'll answer the marriage question. All right, I think Buffalo is the team to beat. I would then say
a lot of these teams got worse. Just a little bit worse.
They did. The Rams got worse. The Chiefs got worse.
Mm-hmm. Cincinnati may have gotten better.
I don't like them at 2, though. I'd put, okay, in no particular order, I got to do top 5. Golly. Okay, no particular order outside of Bills 1.
Okay.
Bucks.
All right.
Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Packers.
Even without Devontae Adams. That's interesting.
I like that team. I still like that team. It's tough between them and the Rams.
I'd give the Rams the nod there.
Probably.
I mean, Valdez-Scantling's a good player.
Yeah.
He's not Devontae Adams. That's hurt.
Fair. That's fair. Okay, supplant the Packers with the Rams. So I'm going Bills, Rams, Chiefs, Bucks. That's 4.
Mm-hmm. Eagles? I got a real reaction out of you.
I guess Bengals.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I guess Bengals.
That's correct.
That's 5. Those are the 5.
Yeah. Indy and Green Bay are hunting out there.
They're there. I'm curious what San Francisco is. I'm really curious. Do the Chargers take a big step? They ought to. You have an elite talent at quarterback.
They tried to address the run game issue in terms of defense. If they've done that, then your boy's going to look a lot smarter as a head coach. But he is so inconsistent when it comes to the fourth down
Wildly
thing. Yeah,
shaky.
it is.
Who's the worst team in football? Atlanta?
Yes. They just had another injury. I forget who it was, but somebody important got hurt.
So we want to do the bottom four just off the top of my head. I'm going to give you Atlanta. Yeah.
Deion Jones is the one that's out. For
Yeah. Oh, no,
Atlanta now.
their
season's over.
Yeah. Well,
like
good.
his, not
Yeah.
their season was already over.
Yeah. So Atlanta, sorry-ass Falcons,
Yeah.
are up there in terms of the suck factor. It's them and the Bears, right? Bears suck terribly.
Bears might be all right.
No,
like
they're not gonna be
out of the top 4 worst teams in the league, they might be all right.
Them and
The
Houston,
Texans. Yep.
Seattle's going to suck.
Mm.
Jacksonville's going to suck again.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Bears, the Jaguars, the Texans, the Falcons, and the Seahawks are probably, maybe the Giants, but probably the Seahawks.
What about Cleveland? There's no guarantee they're going to have a quarterback this year.
Well, they've got a better one than what they had, and that's anybody. Washington's going to suck.
Man, they're going to win at least 7 games. They're going to win at least 7 games. That defense will come back.
If I didn't, Detroit sucks.
I'm rooting for them.
Well, me too, but they suck. What are you going to do?
The Giants?
They're getting better. They're not great. They're getting better.
Who's going to finish ahead of whom in the NFC East?
You know who
Washington or the Giants? Who's finishing?
The Giants are going to finish ahead of Washington. I don't think.
Okay.
Washington doesn't have a quarterback.
I've heard of him. His name's Carson Wentz.
No, I'm saying they don't have a quarterback. They don't. Detroit's going to stink. The Jets are going to stink.
Washington should finish in last just because of those uniforms.
They ruined their
What
great
have
uniforms.
you
They
done?
had the uniforms. They had the uniforms. Damn it, man. Then you start getting into the middling teams. Then we start getting into the Titans of the world, who I think are good, but not great. Do my Dolphins go way up? I say my Dolphins.
Oh man, you're getting really comfortable with that.
Well, they can't be great because they don't have a quarterback either. Tua sucks. Yeah.
How many games are the Cardinals going to win?
I think they're in trouble. That's
Me
an
too.
ugly situation.
Me too.
I don't like that situation at all. And I never liked Kyler Murray. So there you have that.
And Nuke is suspended for using the PEDs.
Yeah. That's the problem. Yeah, they're in trouble. Who wins more games, them or the Raiders? I think the Raiders.
Oh, the Raiders. That's where Devonta Adams went. Now, that's an okay situation in Las Vegas. They're just, unfortunately, in the most difficult division in football.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I just now decided to pull up to see if I'm forgetting anybody.
Like,
Just
you
look.
could argue that Russell Wilson is the worst quarterback in that division. You could.
Well, he hasn't been good in a while.
Right.
You know who we forget about? Here's the team, the Enigma. What are they? Because if they hadn't been so injury-riddled a year ago, they would have been a top 10 team. And a lot of people, I mean, look, that's injury. That's one of the biggest factors. But what are the Ravens? The Ravens are probably a top 10 team if they're healthy.
Right. But I'd set their win total at 9.5, or I don't know that you could go 10.5.
Well, you can bet win totals, Tom.
That's true.
They're there for the taking. You can go find all those win totals.
Preston submitted Carolina to the discussion.
Of worst team.
I don't know, though.
I think it's a good submission. It's not terrible. I would put them in the bottom.
You could see them quitting on their coach.
Yeah, Matt Rule's on death's door. Yeah, I'm going with one of the first. You're right, Preston. So I'm going to put Chicago there. I'm going to put Carolina there. I'm going to put Atlanta there and the Texans.
Okay.
I think that's a pretty good fair four, don't you?
I mean, those are candidates. I can't off the top of my head put a list together like that quickly. So, but those are all fair.
And then I'm going to put Jacksonville and Seattle along with Washington and the Giants. Boy, I've got this. We're rolling on Big River.
You know, was the caste system this easy for the person who created it?
I mean, I'm just firing them off. I'm giving them to you. I'm letting you know now.
Buffalo Tom wants to know who's better, the Dolphins or the Patriots?
The Dolphins.
Ooh, that was conviction.
Patriots are in trouble, man. I don't know what they're. Time's up. Bill needs to call today.
8.5. That's what you set that win total at.
Yeah, they're just they're what are they? They took a huge step backwards a year ago. They brought in Devontae Parker.
All right.
I didn't think they did well in the draft.
If the Patriots scored an average of 22.5 points a game, how many games did they win? Because I feel like the number might be high. Might be 10.
I think the Patriots are outside the top 20 teams in the NFL.
Whoa.
I don't think they're very good at all.
And you just named 8 that are below them. So they're right there.
I think they're in the same category as like the struggling Steelers.
Who's better, Colts or Titans?
Colts.
Yep, I agree.
Colts are a top 15 team.
Sounds like there's some infighting going on. I mean, A.J. Brown's gone. Tannehill is saying it's not my responsibility to train the next guy. There's some issues there.
What do we do with the Broncos?
Oh, take the under on their win total. Mr. Unlimited is going to win.
Dog, we almost made it out of this entire segment. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
A man who ran from Tallahassee police officers during a traffic stop was eventually apprehended on the side of I-10 near the Monroe exit in Tallahassee around 8:30 Thursday night. Officers pursued the man after he fled during a traffic stop. A traffic camera operated by FDT showed multiple patrol cruisers with their lights on and several officers searching the median and roadside with flashlights. A person appeared to be apprehended in a grassy area of the shoulder by 9 p.m. TPD confirmed the suspect had been arrested. Troopers with the Florida Highway Patrol were called to the scene of a rolled-over tanker truck Thursday morning. It happened on State Road 69, about a mile south of County Road 274, around 6 a.m. The driver of the tanker truck lost control during a downpour of rain around 5:16 a.m. Central Time. At that point, the truck and trailer slid down a ditch and detached, causing it to overturn mostly in the ditch. A small fuel leak was found by first responders, and hazmat crews were called in to help contain the leak. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MaclemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Lots of sunshine this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 89. West winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Lows dip down to about 67 tonight. Mainly clear skies and quiet. Mainly clear skies again tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 88. Lots of sunshine outside Sunday with highs around 90. 91 Monday. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 87.
Every great construction project, whether it's a new addition or renovation, starts with a plan. At T-Spark, we are excited when our clients contact us to assist with that plan. Through our team of architects, draftsmen, engineers, we can help you with your project's planning and design, potentially saving costs in the long run. Whether you have a residential or commercial project, we look forward to working with you. Call us today or visit us at tsparkconstruction.com. License number CGC 1525336.
Hey, no fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Well. Hey, Jeff, look at this place.
Yeah. Well, doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you, brother, but, it hasn't been a while since I've been over to Gordo's. I go there on the regular because of you, Eddie.
Well, we keep you regular.
Well, that's true, but I think of Gordo's as a place to sit down, have a cold beer, talk to your friends, enjoy the sports, eat the delicious food. But I think of you as Uncle Eddie, a man who takes care of his people and takes care of the town.
I appreciate that, Jeff. Hey, and we'll keep you regular.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Have left work early listening to the Jeff Cameron Show today. How many of you have said we're starting now?
I think for the first time since we've been on these airwaves, we are in drive time. Most everybody's on their way home.
I think you may be right. You know what? Have a good weekend with this. What are you grilling? Doing any grilling? What you got?
Yeah, there will be grilling. There will be golfing. There will be chilling. I think this is going to be used for the purposes. There are a lot of weekends that are holiday weekends that you're on the road. This is not one of those.
Did you ever? I know you've got a lot of Obi-Wan Kenobi to take in this weekend.
I do.
Did you ever?
I wonder if his lightsaber makes an appearance.
Did you ever get to see There Will Be Blood?
Of course.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
One of my favorite movies, and I just didn't know if you did see it because you said there will be this, there will be that, and I was like, oh, There Will Be Blood would be a good movie to sit back and watch.
This weekend?
Well,
I don't know.
I was just saying, such a good movie.
Memorial Day, though, in truth, for me, is kind of a somber day. I didn't lose anybody in my family in the military, but I feel like you have to take some time that day.
You should take some time. This is Memorial Day weekend is the one that where you actually you do remember those that were lost while serving, as opposed to Veterans Day, where people act forlorn, and you're like, no, it's just Veterans Day. You can just say,
Veterans Day is okay. That's supposed to be a happy day.
Just celebrate. I thank my dad all the time, or anybody else I know that served on Veterans Day. Memorial Day, a little bit different deal. That's when you actually take the time to think about those that laid it on the line.
I know it's a cliche, but usually there's a war movie on of some kind. But I mean, if you really invest and you sit down, not like, oh, what a movie. Like you just really, you get into it. Like Saving Private Ryan. It's a tough one, man.
Yeah, I've seen it a bunch. I don't use the weekend to do that.
Yeah.
I'll do the reflection or I'll read something that addresses that. But
it's the Monday, that day, it sneaks up on you sometimes. At least me.
Nicely done, Live Spectator. That milkshake scene is one of my favorite scenes of all time. Partly because it's funny. In the midst of all of the drama that's happening in that scene and where we know this is going to go, the choices he made as an actor there are unreal. Just like that is, how do you get there? If I take my straw.
So the preacher,
who's awesome,
Little
Miss Sunshine,
right?
He's the kid in Little Miss Sunshine.
Yeah, he is. I know. Roll your eyes. He is the main villain in the most recent Batman that has that little 1970s
he could
noir
probably
feeling.
be a good.
It is. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good performance.
All right, good. Sad by his choices there, but all right.
His casting choices.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, man. We're going from greatness to this, but okay.
He pulls off the psycho serial killer thing quite well, as you might imagine.
I bet he could. So the question presented to us was from whom? I think it was Kevin.
Kevin, that's correct.
And it was marriage advice. I never like to give marriage advice because I don't know that I know anything other than I love my wife and act accordingly, but he's getting married down in Tampa, place we're very familiar with, and I was just at. Paul Dano, that's right. So the answer as far as last minute words of wisdom, no. I mean, I would just tell you that I think, I mean, to me, I got really lucky. I don't know how old you are, Kevin. So, for me, it was the words of wisdom had more to do about waiting to get married. And I don't mean to sow your wild oats, although that's part of it. And all
Coming
that.
to America. Here we go.
I didn't mean it that way. I just meant more along the lines of, you live long enough and you're in enough relationships. You know what you don't want for sure.
Yeah.
And also your areas of weakness, if you're being honest with yourself. You learn from that every time you break up. Every time there's a separation, it's not all the other person's fault. It's a lot. Well, sometimes it is, but I mean, most of the time it's not.
It's dynamic.
Yeah.
That means there's two ways.
Yeah. And so you really, the more times that it happens and the longer you live, the more honest you are with yourself a lot of times too, because you have time to reflect. So what ends up happening is if you're doing that assessment, you're kind of like, well, I know what I don't want. And it looks like this, and this, behaviorally or otherwise. And then I know where I've made terrible mistakes and I won't do that anymore. And it just makes you a better partner that way. But I'm lucky, very fortunate. I think most people who get married and stay married will tell you that there's some luck involved in that. My wife and I we have the most laid back relationship. I don't want to get in too details, but we're just, we don't.
You're friends.
Well, we're dear friends. Yes. Yeah.
That matters.
No, the romantic matters. And so does the friendship. The friendship, they both got to be there.
There are times I've found it's only a year in, but we lived together for so long that we may as well have been married. in sin, as some might say. But there are times when you're the person who's putting up the triple-double for the house, like for the household.
Yeah.
And there are times when you are most certainly going 0 for 12 from the field.
And you're just off the bench.
And you've got 16
You're
minutes.
lucky to be with LeBron.
Be prepared to be 0 for 12 more than the one that's putting up the triple-doubles. That's all I'm saying, Kevin. And if you realize that, you'll be A-okay.
Also, make sure she's up early, fixing you breakfast, and when you get home, that dinner's ready. That's
35.
That's a big part of it.
He's 35. He's ready.
I was kind of kidding there, Kevin. Yeah, 35's you're ready, buddy. Good job. Good job. You waited to 35. Now we got to get with the kids then, if that's in your game plan.
Well, I mean,
maybe that's why they're getting married.
She could be 22 for all I know.
Well, in that case, Kevin, good job indeed. I would just tell you that listening's important. Cliche things like that. Because I didn't for a while. And I mean just in any relationship.
Oh, okay. I was going to say,
I don't mean
marriage.
No. By the time I got married, I was prepared to listen.
How old were you?
I've been married for almost 17 years. So, yeah.
So
33, 34.
Right. Yeah. Same ballpark.
Yeah. And I was also, I was 34. So, yeah, just a year younger than Kevin. And so also, by the way, I've been with my wife for 20 years. So, I mean, we've only been married for this month. Yeah, that's funny, by the way, Live Spectator. But I so like you, I had enough. We knew we've been together long enough. I was like, nothing's going to surprise me. We've been together for a few years here. Like, all of a sudden, you're this other thing.
Yeah.
Well, my goodness gracious. Let's do some probables, shall we? Cue it up.
It's time for, how you say, with the pitching, probables?
San Fran and Cincinnati. Carlos Rodon and TBD. Rockies, Nats, Austin Gomber, Aaron Sanchez, Orioles, Red Sox, Kyle Bradish, and Garrett Whitlock. Guardians, Tigers, Shane Bieber, Alex Fado. Phillies, Mets. Oh, you guys are getting after it again. You guys got a side bet?
Yeah, I guess to make it fair, they got to sweep the series. I don't know.
Oh,
what'll make it fair?
Wow. They've got Bailey Falter on the hill tonight. You got Carlos Carrasco. Yankees, Rays, Jameson Taillon, Jeffrey Springs. Springs is good, like really good. Rays just have guy after guy after guy they call up. It's ridiculous. Marlins, Braves, Trevor Rogers, Ian Anderson. We got the Royals and the Twins. It'd be Brad Keller, Bailey Omber, Brewers, Cards, Brandon Woodruff, Dakota Hudson. Blue Jays, Angels, Alec Manoah, and Chase Silseth. Sounds
right.
like a demonic. Dodgers, D-backs, Ryan Pepiot?
Really? Okay.
What's going on out here today, guys?
Come on, Ryan.
Madison Bumgarner goes for the D-backs. Having a good year. Pirates, Padres, Jose Quintana. That Quintana creep can roll, man. Sean Manaea. And Astros, Mariners, Justin Verlander, Chris Flexen. By the way, were you aware that Justin Verlander is 6-1 with a 1.22?
Yep.
That's either a happy marriage or steroids or both.
Why not both?
Rangers, A's, John Gray, Cole Irvin, and that's a look at those that shall reside on the bump. I don't know what the baseline is today, Tom. I'm just
the baseline.
Meaning, are we out at 56? 58?
Oh yeah, we got a minute. 55 seconds of glory.
Enjoy your holiday weekend. Take a little time to reflect. You guys are going to do that anyhow. I've got a thoughtful audience. Enjoy each other's company. Be nice. Love one another. Got kids, man. You know what I'm saying in that situation. So all that goodness. But if you're going to grill, do it right. Don't screw it up. Grilling's important.
Hebrew nationals only.
Good work out of you, Tom Wayne. Good work, Director Matthew. Be well, everybody. Have a great weekend. It's a long weekend. We're back with you with Seminole headlines on Tuesdays. The next time you're going to hear from me. Peace.